Roof, roof. You're watching Suckprofessor. Hello, everybody. It's me, Hank. I'm joined by...
James.
James, you're supposed to bark. Make a noise. Jake, just kidding. I'm not going to force that on you.
Thank you.
Rad Talk with James and Hank. So we're talking about Dogmeat, Fallout 4. Everybody knows he's the lovable, huggable, pettable, kissable, lickable dog in the game. The German Shepherd. What a cutie. Should he die? Is the question I propose. Now that the game's been out for about a couple weeks or so, we've both played the game quite a lot. You've seen our Fallout 4 playthrough on the channel. Maybe you've seen the trailer breakdowns. James, you've been playing like crazy.
Yep.
I have a strong opinion about Dogmeat. Should he die? I want to hear what you think first.
Okay, I think that if you say yes, you're a terrible person. No, not really, but...
No, you're allowed to say that.
The first thing before we talk about it, do you mean permanently or temporarily? What's your definition of death in this sense?
Well, let's start with what's the current status is before we say that.
Immortal dog status.
He's immortal. He doesn't die. He can't get... He gets wounded. He gets taken out of a fight if he gets hurt too much. Right? If he takes too much, aggro? Is that a word? Is that Warcraft or something?
Enough.
Yeah. So he's useful, and he stores a lot of... You can put stuff on him, which, according to our research on Reddit, it looks like he can hold 150 weight right now. So what that does for me, the fact that he can't die, it kind of messes the immersion factor up a little bit. And I realize that every game, especially a game like this, has certain magical allowances you just have to go with in order, so nothing is perfectly immersive, but it just takes down the immersion factor a little, and it feels like there's no risk to having this animal with you. And if there was a chance that he might not be able to survive an encounter, I think it would change the way you would approach almost every single situation that you're in. So my answer, yes, Dogmeat should fucking die.
Oh.
Right away. Of a really slow cancer. No, I'm just joking around. So that's my opinion. I think it would affect the gameplay tremendously if he could die. But I also recognize why that would be kind of emotionally challenging for weak-minded people like yourself. And therefore, maybe there should be a system in place where you can choose for that to be the possible outcome.
Okay.
And I also have more about that as far as what are some alternatives, maybe some reasonable compromises there. So anyway, that's me talking too much. I want to hear what you think.
Okay, my opinion is the complete opposite of yours, and it's for one of the same reasons that you just mentioned. You said if he could die, it would change the way people approach every combat situation they walk into. And I agree, it would change every situation, and what it would do is it would make people compulsively save their game constantly and then reload it after their companion dies. And when you're playing a game like this, you have to have a good balance between frustration and overall game enjoyment.
Yeah.
And if you're constantly worried about something jumping out from behind a tree and killing your companion and losing that companion temporarily or even permanently, that's going to make you paranoid, stressed. It's going to make you, like I said before, compulsively save. It's going to take you out of the immersion that you're trying to go for in the first place, and it's going to make anyone who's a game completionist completely frustrated every single time your companion dies. Now, I would agree that the companion should be able to die if you had more control over the survivability of that companion, and by that I mean, can you set their aggression level? Can you set a certain health limit at which point they retreat? Can you tell them to go into defensive mode? Can you have them heal themselves? Maybe you can, and I'm not aware of it.
Not really.
But I haven't come across that yet. So I would not like the idea of having my 40 plus hours of gameplay tarnished permanently because the game AI caused my dog to run into a trip mine or do something that I would never do myself.
Well, that's another problem with the dog and with companions in general, is they'll just go shambling off into danger and trigger all kinds of things you don't want to happen. So, side note, it would be greater if they had a either better automatic AI or much more controllable and intuitive menu that lets you set what the parameters are. And I'm sure the mod community is going to do something about that because there's a big demand for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You're saying, though, the immersion thing, the completionist stuff, is that's sort of where it would really rub you the wrong way.
Right, because you don't want to invest so much time and energy and thought into a game that you've been playing, to a character you've developed and grown and customized, only to have a certain portion of the game yanked away from you on a permanent or even temporary basis.
See if he had anything
when it's not your fault. You should not be punished as a player for the bad AI of the game.
I agree with that. That's a very fair point. I don't think you're wrong there. I just feel like if... yeah, okay, fair enough. All right, so you're saying, like, you can't protect the dog completely Therefore,
grab anything useful.
Let the dog be immortal, in a way. Like which I get that, and I think it makes sense given how crappy the AI is for the animal.
And I can give you an example.
Go ahead, let's hear it.
There's a part of the game where I was exploring, and there was a hallway, and in the hallway, I kid you not, there are like 30 trip mine wires going across.
Yeah.
And behind the trip mines were 2 machine gun turrets. So I approached it, and I was hanging off to the side, kind of leaning around the corner, carefully disarming the trip mines, getting materials out of them, and then there goes Dogmeat charging right through all the lasers, blows up the whole hallway. I have to dive around a corner to not get killed myself, and then he's sitting there getting pelted by machine gun fire while he's already down.
Right. So
I could do nothing to stop that.
Would any regular responsible dog owner take their animal into a situation near trip mines or machine guns? That's rule number 1 at dog training class.
I did throw the bone in there too, so the stick.
Yeah, it was one of those frisbee factories, which is oh boy. So okay, fine. Here's what I say though. I think he should be really hard to kill. That to me is a sensible compromise. Like if he gets killed by the first pack of mole rats that comes swimming out of the ground, and right outside Red Rocket, that's bullshit. But if he can survive a lot of damage, or this I think is a more sensible compromise, and probably the option I would go with personally. Maybe you don't get him back for like 7 in-game days. That seems to be something like there's just no cost to it. I've lost him in my game because I lose track of him, and then he just comes running back like a day later. That I can actually accept. Okay, I've been a kid from a fucked up family where we got dogs running around the neighborhood and eventually they come back. So okay, I get it. Or how about this? Maybe there's a technology in the game where you lose him early on. You're not supposed to lose him, but if you happen to die in the first half, maybe you come across some sort of regeneration machine revival thing where there's a cost. You have to do a lot to get him back. Yep. And maybe there's a escalating cost for each time you go through that, so you're punished a little for letting him die again. And he's still hard to kill. I just don't like that he's guaranteed to live. Like, here's one of the ideas. I had 2 more, and then unless you want to jump in on something specifically.
Well, I just wanted to ask you, would you ever, let's say you're playing the game and your dog dies in one battle. Would you personally reload your game every time? Why wouldn't you?
Well, would I personally? A version of me would. Which is a bullshit way of saying I don't know. Yeah. But it would depend on how much I've committed to the immersion that particular playthrough is going for. Most people probably would back up. If in real life your actual pet, your ant farm got knocked over in an earthquake, would you reload?
Right. And if you
you reload the save game so you can go back and you have your beautiful ant farm back to life?
And if you were a game developer and you knew that 85% of people would do that, would you not just make it a part of the game that they couldn't die?
If I was making Chicky Go Fuck Yourself for a kids game with featuring Pokemons and cute little stuffed animals and cartoons, if I was making a very realistic nuclear apocalypse simulator, in which case 99.9% of the Earth's population is dead and is populated by roving bands of 2-headed cows and 1-headed ghouls, where danger lives around every Mirelurk carcass, it makes sense that the goddamn fucking dog would get killed in that situation. It's a tragedy. The guy's woke up in icicle surrounded by death, and he's being attacked by bugs, and now he's got an immortal dog. It's ridiculous.
I think we're gonna have to do a follow-up video where we open the hate mail and death threats you're gonna get for this.
Hate mail? No. What are you talking about? Do you have
Dogmeat is a staple of the Fallout experience.
Yes, that's why he deserves to be protected. I don't want him to die. I like him. He's cute. I like how he does half barks. That's my favorite part. He goes. He doesn't do full bark.
Yeah.
I love it because real dogs will do that.
Yeah.
Smart ones. Yeah. Go ahead. You have.
Well, I thought your argument was that you wanted him to die.
No, I don't want him to die. I think that him being immortal takes away a lot from the game. So I think there'd be an extra level of tension. I love the tense moments in the game. I love when shit happens you don't expect to, or you come across something and you're kind of outgunned, you're outmatched, and you got to either get out of there or put up a fight, and hopefully you don't get, or maybe do some successful flirting with caveman Carla, to get that bitch to sell you some shit. I like the immersion factor of it. And to be fair, I'm kind of full of shit. I admit that. I don't go for I don't get into the brain of my character and be like, oh, Now it's time to cross the bridge. Oh, good. The bridge is still up. Oh, good. Oh, no, I'm getting rads. Let's walk away fast. I don't do that for the playthrough.
Have you ever played Mass Effect? I may have asked.
Yes, I've played parts. Gave up. It got too tedious.
Oh, more death threats.
Go ahead.
But you spend so much time developing your character there, getting attached to your character, bringing your character from game to game to game to game.
Yeah.
Sort of similar to Fallout in a way. And if you made a decision that suddenly said, oh no, I made a decision, now this character who's been with me for so long is now permanently dead going forward, absolutely, I don't care if I lose 2 hours of gameplay, I'm going back. And if it tells me I can't go back, I'm starting over. That's who I am. I can't,
sure.
you know.
And you're not an unrepresentative gamer player. You know, there's gonna be a lot of people who share your opinion.
Yeah,
I think there's probably a lot of people who agree with both of us. There is a nuance to this it's the way I see it. Because I get it. It sucks to have the dog die.
Yeah,
That's exactly I want the dog to die.
I think.
Have you ever had a friend die? Dude, you get so much attention. It's great. No, I'm just totally kidding.
I can sum up my entire opinion in one or two sentences.
Lay it on me.
I love a challenge, but I don't like permanent penalties.
That's fair. I like that. I think I'm in the same way, where I love permanent penalties, but I don't like challenges.
Nice.
Yes. So how about this? Okay, real quick. What if you breeded Dogmeat? What if there was a mini quest or a side quest early on, like in the first third of the game, where you come across a sexy lady dog who's ready, who's in Estros, and says, "Fuck me, Dogmeat," and then they do it, and now you have now that's enabled Dogmeat's immortality.
So you have to tap H in rhythm to hump.
Yeah, you gotta hit it at just the right point for however long dogs do it. I think they take about 12 seconds.
Probably.
Humans are the only ones that like to make it last, from what I can tell by the David Attenborough documentaries that are out there. So what I mean though is like, okay, that's I'm just trying to think of a mechanism that doesn't make it so ridiculous. Like let's say, and then every time Dogmeat comes back, it's one of his offspring. And he happens to have all the items and tools that you stretch.
Yeah, that carries along.
Yeah, he happens to have the giant pile of plungers that you had stashed onto his body.
Yeah, they go to the lawyer, he draws it out, reads the will.
Yeah, he gets a doggy will.
Yeah.
They have dog kennels, why not dog wills? You know? So there's an idea. Maybe there's a little puppy mill, and you got to go get another fucking Dogmeat because I wasn't careful. God damn it, I can't believe Dogmeat 1 died. Now I'm down to Dogmeat 7, or you know. There's an idea. Or how about you have to carry his carcass around, or perhaps just a locket of his hair. Lock of his hair. Locket is one of those necklace things, the Abernathy family. And because you have his DNA, you bring it to some mad scientist out in the world, and he revives Dogmeat.
Or you have to find and collect parts of other dogs and assemble them.
Oh, a robot, a synth dog.
Hey.
See? I think that sounds fucking great.
But then you wouldn't be Dogmeat, it'd be like dog cogs or
he'd be dog what's the opposite of meat? Robot.
Water.
Dog flesh. Yeah, water. What is robot flesh called? It's called dog circuit board.
Yes.
Yeah. Dog chassis.
I like it.
Yeah, that's probably about right. So I don't know, man. I don't know. It'll happen. I mean, it's probably already being worked on. Some modder out there is very happily ending Dogmeat over and over until it gets it just right. I don't want to torture the animal. That's sick. I'm not saying I want animals to be.
You just want to see his limbs blow off in slow motion.
Well, that's fun. I mean, let's be honest, and especially if you execute the critical at the right moment. But I just think that it's just like, wait a minute, the whole world is dead. The fucking dog is immortal? Give me a break.
The dog is the only bastion of innocence and hope left in the whole world, and you want him to die.
I don't want him to die. I want to be devastated by his death.
You can watch Lassie for that.
So it's just
actually,
like
Lassie doesn't die.
Just like most of my life. I just want to be devastated by an event I had nothing to do with. You know, that's all I mean. What if he died? What if he
just want to be punished? That's who you are.
I don't. I just think it would add to the immersion. That's all. That's my point. Anything else? We should.
No, I think that's. I think I made my case. Let the jury decide.
There is no decision.
There is. One of us must win.
No, I know. It's just I like your absolutism. So that's all I said. What do you guys think out there? Do you think Dogmeat should die? Let us know, okay? Keep it positive, keep it cool, leave comments. Also like and subscribe. Check out our Fallout 4 playthrough that I'm doing. James is on there. We're going to have a lot more Fallout stuff on the way. The trailer breakdowns got a lot of attention. That's been fun. So, all right, there, you fucking animal hugger. Why don't we get out of here? Let's go to McDonald's and get some burgers.
Ooh.
They got new Brahmin on special.